So I'm sitting here in my Rossmonster Baja. I have the door open because Shelby is outside. I have the heat running because I want to be warm. It's not super warm outside. Actually, it's, I want to say, not miserable, but it's also not nice. But we had rain for the last 1.5 days, and you feel that outside. It's not super windy today, but yeah, leaving the door open so that Shelby can come and go inside is an important part for me. And well, I'm sitting here in shorts and I'm actually really comfortable. And the reason for that is the new heating system that I have in the Rossmonster Baja, and that is what I'm gonna talk about today. So down here you can see two openings or vents. This is the main vent for the Webasto Evo Top 40 diesel heater that I have. Below that is a secondary outlet that I will still change for a specific reason, but I wanted to have two outlets to supply enough hot air coming into the camper, and the Webasto is definitely capable to push a lot of air out. So I had this with this opening here, actually, that yeah, the vent cover flew out when it was connected because the Webasto heater was pushing so much air that this specific covering could not hold on to the main lid. So there is a situation a little bit that I want to say came to light when we were installing this at Rossmonster. I had ordered a complete kit from a vendor that was supposed to have everything, the vent tubing, vent cover, and so on. And well, when we opened it, we found out it didn't. So Rossmonster had to source a couple of other pieces from a different diesel heater, and it worked. But yeah, the Webasto pushed things out, and I already made the changes. I put in a Webasto certified vent tubing and the vent cover. I found this while I was on my trip here at the East Coast and Canada. And so that is all taken care of. But yeah, let me show you the diesel heater and the tank and everything, because as you probably remember, this truck is not a diesel truck, it's a gasoline truck. And so I had to install an auxiliary diesel tank specifically for this diesel heater. So here is the cabinet where all my plumbing and heating is located. Here's the original Aquahot 125G. It pulls gasoline from my tank from the truck, and then next to it is the new Webasto Air Top Evo 40 diesel heater, and that thing is just fantastic. I'm literally in love with this diesel heater. So you can see it fit in perfectly. Rossmonster had to reset a few things in here. There was space in here on purpose because I wanted to have a secondary heating system for this camper, but I wasn't sure what to do initially, and I'm glad I waited. So, but here you can see the tubing for the diesel heater, and then the outlet again. I will probably actually stick just to a single outlet and install a fan into the lower outlet here for airflow. So just in case, I mean, this heats up a little bit. And I mean, when the bench seat is here on top of it, there is some air in here, and I want to have some airflow. So in case anything is just building up, that the temperatures in here is not going crazy. So I mentioned before that I have an auxiliary diesel tank now on my rig. Again, this is a gas 7.3 Godzilla engine that I have here, and originally I had two of these storage boxes, the two outer ones, and I had Rossmonster add the third one, but the diesel tank is not in the third one, it's in this one here. First of all, you can see that's where the fuel line goes down. I still have to come up with a better idea to protect it just in case. I'm probably paranoid from that perspective, but I don't want anything to potentially rip the fuel line apart, and then I don't have my diesel heater. Below here you can see the two outlets now, so the Aquahot 125G and the diesel outlet or exhaust outlet for the Webasto diesel heater is here as well. But now let's take a look at the diesel tank. And the diesel tank is from Boyd Welding in Florida, and man, this is a great tank. So what you see here is a 5-gallon tank. Let me pull this out here. I just had some spare parts left over. So what you see here is a 5-gallon diesel tank with a fuel cap that allows to vent. So I can open and close this. So depending on driving, I close it. When I need it, it's open. I had Rossmonster install an opening in here. I still have to put some filtration of some sort in here, like some foam or filter material so that there's not too much dirt coming in here, but so far so good. But yeah, this is the diesel tank, 5 gallons. So you can see here is the gauge that shows me how full the tank is. So we're almost full actually. And then here are the 2 connections for the fuel itself. And yeah, I'm happy this fit in perfectly. I had a friend in Prince Edward Island. She helped me to build this shelf in here. I still have some rearranging to do. I haven't been home in over a month now. I've been very happy with the tank, and I actually checked Boyd Welding makes several ones. They even make custom ones, but this is one of their standard tanks with a 12 by 8 by 12 measurement. So it's 12 inches high, 12 inches deep, 8 inches wide. Fits perfectly into the boxes. I probably could have gone even with a larger one, but man, that Webasto diesel heater is not using a whole lot of diesel, so haven't had really any concerns yet running out of fuel. I mean, I refilled it already, of course, but that's more like I'm in Canada at the moment filming this video, and it's like you fill up in certain areas because there's a fuel source, not because you necessarily need it. According to the vendor where I bought this is Webasto and Baja diesel heater certified vent tubing. I'm still thinking of replacing this one with the version that has the aluminum on the inside. This one is like the special cardboard. But yeah, this has not been getting too hot. And again, they told me it's certified or approved by Webasto. So up here you can see the vent opening here. Again, I will put some filtration material in there so that there's not too much dirt coming inside, but so far so good. The location seems good, and the diesel heater or for the fuel seems to be able to pull enough air in. The fresh air intake for the diesel heater is down here. Everything is nicely hidden in this compartment here under the truck. You see the exhaust muffler for one of the 2. I think that's the one for the Aqua Hot. So I'm up in Canada recording this video. Why did I have a diesel heater installed? So when I planned for this rig and spec'd everything out and pretty much did the design, one of the ideas was I want to have a secondary heating system so that when I go up to the Arctic in winter, which I'm planning to do, that I have not just enough heat but also redundancy in case one of the heating systems goes down. So I don't expect this, but I'm also not the type of guy that just simply goes into a situation without preparation, and having a second heating system is a critical piece when you go up to the Arctic, at least in my opinion. So I wanted the diesel heater. The other thing that I found out, and that actually was really good, that I decided not to put the second heating system in right away. Gasoline heaters like the Aqua Hot or even the Webasto, they have gasoline heaters. They just don't work as great in elevation. Diesel heaters have just a better burning point. They deliver more heat. And the Webasto is certified to go up to 18,000 feet. When I go down to South America, I will be camping at 12, 13, 14,000 feet of elevation and definitely need a heater that works because it will not be warm up there. So a diesel heater was definitely the right thing to do. So I'm here in the Canadian province, Quebec, on my way to Labrador. I will be taking the ferry in a couple of days, crossing the St. Lawrence River, and then heading into Labrador and from there to Newfoundland. So I'm going north. It is late October or middle of October, second half definitely of October. And yeah, it's getting colder. So I'm just camped here on the side of the road at a rest area. It was actually really quiet, just like since I started the video. Lots more cars and trucks coming by, but doesn't matter, it's beautiful here. There's a river right next to it. There's a no fishing sign. So I don't have to expect any people coming by try to do fishing. Maybe I'll see a bear or a moose coming by. I haven't seen anything yet. There are still a handful of mosquitoes out here hanging on to dear life. But yeah, this is a beautiful area. And yeah, you can see here the river. So yeah, with my planned trip to Newfoundland and going up further north, and well, the days to the end of October are in the single digits now. it's definitely good to have that heat. So when I decided to get a diesel heater, I did some research, and I mean, there are now some Chinese diesel heaters that seem to be, yeah, decent in quality. I was thinking maybe I should get one of those. $300-400 is significantly cheaper than the yeah, roughly $2,400 I paid for the Webasto, not including the installation. Once I had decided on a diesel heater itself, not necessarily the model, I was looking at options, and the Webasto was not cheap. So the entire package that I bought was like $2,400, not necessarily a small chunk of money. I looked into Chinese diesel heaters, and some of those had some really good ratings nowadays. And the $300-400 range, you can get a diesel heater from China, which is most likely just built like the Webasto anyway, but with cheaper parts. And yeah, I was thinking about it. Where would I have installed that diesel heater? And well, those are external. So let me turn the camera around. Here's the entrance area to the Rossmonster. So for one, you see the stairway that I have for Shelby here. That's how she comes in. I have this area here, the first step inside the camper, and I was thinking cutting a hole into this section here because it's open and exposed from underneath, and I would have been able to feed heat in here. So that would have gone up here and then filled the entire area of the entranceway for the Baja. In the end, I decided against it, and the reason is it's cumbersome. So you have to store that diesel heater somewhere, and yes, I could have gone and stored it just like now the tank here inside the storage boxes in the rear. But yeah, it's rainy, it's cold. Do you want to go outside and fiddle around with a diesel heater and everything and set it up and then start it and refill fuel and all those things? I don't. So I decided for the Webasto, have it properly installed by Rossmonster, have the control inside, and I'm so glad I did. Because again, it's convenience. It's really comfortable. All I have to do is just push the button, turn on the thing, set the dial to the temperature I want, and then it goes and makes hot air. Here, of course, that would have worked. I mean, put the diesel heater under the truck, feed it in here, not a big deal. So, but again, it's cumbersome over time. And that's a lot of stuff that I'm looking at with why I built the rig the way it is. I didn't want to have cumbersome. So when you travel a lot and you're living out of this thing, cumbersome becomes tiring really quickly. And that's one thing when you do something like this, you don't want to get tired of going out. You don't want to fiddle around with stuff. You want to be able to just sit back and I want to say relax in a certain way. So the third storage box is there. Again, that's an added cost because I needed to move some of that stuff into here. My 2 storage boxes were full. There wasn't much room for the tank. I didn't want to have the tank outside. Initially, I thought of just putting like a platform here and having it installed, or put it on top of one of the other 2. But in the end, I didn't want to have the tank exposed. If I would put a tank up here, very difficult to refuel. So I mean, I cannot reach it with a pump at a gas station. So it needed to be somewhere. And a platform here, I want to say just the same level as the storage box, would have done the trick, but it would have been custom from Rossmonster. And yeah, the cost was, I don't want to say identical, or would have been identical. It would have been cheaper than the storage box, but the third storage box just gives me a lot more flexibility because now I can just spread out the weight a little better. And really just take a couple more items with me. Not necessarily heavy in weight, but you see the mat I have on the floor for Shelby there. I have 2 of those. I will take the second one with me once I get home in a few months. And it's overall just making it easier. So there you have it. I have a diesel heater and an auxiliary fuel tank, diesel tank in my rig. I'm glad I did it. As mentioned, this thing is delivering heat I did not expect to have. This is fantastic for me. I'm glad I did not go with a cheap diesel heater from China. Yes, it would have worked. It would have done what I wanted it to do. But again, it would be cumbersome. And plus, this is a high-end rig. And I think it's important not to mix high-end stuff with cheap, especially when I look down at the resale value at one point. Having the diesel heater installed, especially a Rossmonster in this case, since they built the rig, so important. So from that perspective, I'm super happy I did it. Expensive, unfortunately, yes, but it is what it is, and I'm ready to travel to where I want to go. So that's it for today. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please do so as well, and I'll see you next time in my next video. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.